Well, it's Mind Your Business time, and I bring to you some amazing guests. We're getting you ready for the Ital Food Festival, and let me tell you, you are what you eat. And when we consider the billion-dollar import bill that's dealing with our forex, causing the forex issue in the country, and again, it's a deeper conversation when we talk about the forex, but we consider our food import bill. It's high. And clearly our palate and the way we have decided to go about food, it's changed. So probably it's time to get back to the basics and to really have that deeper conversation. And we welcome from the Ital Food Festival, the organizer, Carissa is here with me. I want to say welcome, Carissa.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having me, CNC3. And we give thanks to have Ital Food Festival being represented on the national stage.
May I say Ital is vital? Ital is vital.
It is certainly vital. It is certainly.
Right. We'll get to that very soon. And also with us, Liz Ross, the Executive Director of Rethink Your Food. That's a Miami-based company, yes?
Yes, based in Miami, but we focus regionally on the Caribbean and the diaspora as well.
Of course, because we out there in the millions throughout the length and breadth of the U.S. and Europe and elsewhere.
Exactly. We promote the benefits of a healthy plant-based diet through working with people like Carissa and also online programs as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carissa, let's dig in, because I guess the biggest misconception is that people believe if they go Ital, they won't get the protein, they won't get the energy required. Some also believe it's a bit expensive. For some reason, eating organic, eating clean, all of a sudden became expensive.
Yeah, right.
Walk me through the reality. Where are we at this point in time?
Well, to decide where we are at this point in time, let's just look a little way back. Ital is roots. It's roots. It's from the origin. It's from the first creation. Where we forage what is around us, and we depend on the things that are close to us, and it's life-giving, it's nourishing, it is essential for our body, it is essential for our mind, it is essential for our spirit. So eating Ital is really being conscious of what you put into your body so that you could have enough energy to do your works, right, and to sustain yourself. So you asked the question, where are we today, and why is healthy living portrayed as being expensive? That is just so wrong. It is a myth. It is marketing.
I agree.
And we want to debunk that myth. Eating healthy, eating plant-based is not expensive. We have a plethora of beautiful fauna and beautiful vegetation and lovely citrus fruits and all the fruits and food and greens and veggies that you could think of grow here. So it is not expensive. It is not expensive at all. And we are empowered to grow our own food as well. We have that choice to make what we put into our body, you understand? And if we don't like the choices available, we could grow our own food and be in control of what we put into our body.
Well said, Chris. I want to bring Liz into the discussion. Now, Liz, you are based out there in Florida, South Florida. We are influenced, as you know, by the U.S., by the style and pattern, and even now the palate.
Yeah.
And how do we, find ourselves in this very Americanized world?
Well, the United States has helped in shaping our food landscape. We are importing over 80% of our food. As you know, right now, we have a current administration who is basically having tariffs and all these restrictions on imports and exports. So I think this is a time in which we as Caribbean people need to start working within the Caribbean community of all the islands with regards to promoting more trade around, food. So I think it's also important to say that the debate around a plant-based diet is gone. It's not a contentious issue around peer-reviewed studies and in the medical field. So I want to make that clear to your audience that this is not a fad diet. This is something that has been known through a lot of peer-reviewed research and clinical trials to literally prevent or manage certain forms of non-communicable diseases like dementia, heart disease, diabetes, certain forms of cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, dementia, gout. So the debate is gone. So that's not even an issue. The problem is that a lot of the Caribbean leading health organizations are not up to speed with that research and information. I wouldn't say it's because that, they're not trying to not have that. I think it's more because knowledge has become a barrier. We are inundated with so much information that it has become a barrier, and it hasn't trickled over to these Caribbean organizations. So this is why Rethink Your Food comes in, because we provide that information, whether to other Caribbean organizations or people on the grassroots. What we tend to focus mostly on now is the grassroots, which is why we collaborate with people like Carissa.
And of course, Carissa, when we consider the festival itself and obviously the information at hand, we'll get to that in a few from you, Liz, where we can go to receive this information. I want to focus, of course, on the festival. Give me time, place, and what's on offer, because people come in to fill their belly, but it's Ital.
Yes, it is. So Ital Food Festival brings together a range of people, okay? We have the food people, the chefs, the people who have been cooking for 20 years or over. We've been cooking plant-based. We have farmers, we have the conservationists and the naturalists. We have NPOs like Rethink Your Food and others who are supporting this overall upliftment of people's consciousness as it affects the environment, as it affects, holistically the ricochet that it could have. Just becoming more aware of yourself, becoming more aware of the choices that you make, particularly with food in this instant, and how it will affect not only your health, but the environment, other aspects. People talk about climate change. We promote a climate-friendly diet. You understand? Eating more plant-based is not just a trend, as Liz said, but it will seriously contribute to the sustainability of the economy, of the environment.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be talking about one of my talks in the morning. I think it's 11:30, 11:45.
Right.
About the 4 reasons why people tend to adopt a plant-based diet. And we mentioned 2, health and the environment. People say climate change, but people don't really know what that is. So I'm going to be talking about exactly what that is so that people can just say, okay, I get it now. I understand the context in which industrial animal agriculture, not your small farmers, but industrial animal agriculture, which is where most of the imports of meat, dairy, and eggs is coming from, like your corned beef, has contributed to global greenhouse gases, particularly methane, but also carbon dioxide. So this is a movement. It's not about a diet.
I think also, the whole concept of time management and managing your life comes into play, because most people eat unhealthy because, it's the rat race. You're trying to get to work on a particular time. You have an hour lunch. You didn't prepare no breakfast.
Right.
You're sometimes going to grab something that's convenient on the go, which probably will be the cheaper side, and the cheaper side might mean not the most healthy.
Yes.
So it's a whole sometimes shift of mindset.
Shift.
It is. And Ital Food Festival brings together these people, the people who are curious, the people who are interested, the people who are providing these healthy alternative offerings, if it's gluten-free or sugar-free, or, if you might have a specific health need. So Ital Food Festival has a range of vendors that will cater for these different diets and these different necessities and offer you, various creative options with your food that is not cheap, but, relatively affordable, not as expensive as they portray it to be. Really creative, very tasty, and most of all, uplifting and nutritious and energizing and vital.
I'm glad you mentioned energizing, because again, that is a big, imagine myth. People believe if you go plant-based, so they're saying, well, I get the energy from the protein, from the meat. How I'll get the energy if I'm eating chana and peas and this kind of stuff? Walk me through the science of that.
Yeah.
So Actually, so there's this big myth that carb diets are bad and protein diets are better for you. And that's marketing. I mean, that's just marketing. For example, in the US, the meat and dairy industry, they have an entire association. They lobby in the United States. They go to Miami and have these business transactions to make sure that we have imports from the Caribbean. And it's not just the United States, it's the meat and dairy industry globally. As I said, you can thrive on a plant-based diet. You get enough calcium and protein on a plant-based diet. Now, there are good carbs and bad carbs. So you go and get your sugary sodas and your cookies and stuff. That's unhealthy carbs. It doesn't mean you can't have it, but you minimize it. I'm basically a testimony to a plant-based diet. I mean, I had knee pains. This was when I was in my 30s and 40s, and that was 15 years ago.
You serious?
Yes. So I had knee pains, I had gastric reflux, I had menstrual cramps, and I had melasma, which is the thing you get, usually pregnant women get, and I don't. So I was not. So when I did a massive amount of research, I looked for people who had clinics. They were in the 60s, 70s, 80s. They were walking the walk, and they also had success stories with their clinics. Within 4 weeks, I had no knee pain. I had no gastric reflux. I used to sleep on an incline because of that acid from all that animal products. And the doctor said, just have Tums, and stay away from milk, which I was already lactose intolerant, like most of us are, because lactose intolerant is not a disease. It's a normal part of the body moving us away from breastfeeding. And we are the only mammals who breastfeed still with another species, cows and goats. Is that anyway, going back to that, there are alternatives. The good news is that there are alternatives. Fantastic. But I get sufficient protein, I get sufficient calcium, I get all these things that people think. And carbohydrates is not a bad thing. We thrive on carbohydrates. Whole food carbohydrates, potatoes, yams, whole rice, and all of that stuff.
For those looking on, where can they go to get more information via your Rethink Your Food page?
Yes. So rethinkyourfood.org is my organization, and you can sign up for our 21-day Kickstart program, which is a Kickstart Caribbean-based meal plans, recipes. But please read the email series, because people have more success when they get the information through the email series. That's vegancaribbeankickstart.com. But you can also get that on the website.
Liz, sincere thanks. Carissa, I'll let you have the final say. Again, just tell us date, time, venue for us to enjoy the Ital Food Festival.
Yes, sir. Ital Food Festival will be held on April 6th, this Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We will feature a range of educational speakers. We will have a range of food vendors, and we will also have a wellness section where you could come and take a load off and just relax. Then later on, we wind down with the messengers. We have to make a full circle. It's a levity, and the reggae music is important. So we have some messengers coming out to just share with us and, build this community as we try to grow. Ital Food Festival will be every year, so look out, Give thanks.
That's right.
We're excited.
I am,
It's happening.
Sunday, yep. We are totally excited.
I probably need to really revisit because there was a point in time in my life I went total Ital,
True.
Oh, wow.
So about that, I have a spot there on Park Street. I used to be living there,
That's fantastic.
Strictly Ital, and then I just drop off. But I think you'll have given me a kind of encouragement to get back on the train.
Yes. And it's not an all or nothing. Yeah. It is a process. We want to let people know it's not you're on it or you're off it. If you have small amounts of meat, don't feel bad.
Yeah. Understood.
It's a process, it's a journey, it's a lifestyle, it's a way of thinking.
Because after all, Ital is vital.
Yes, Jason, I have 2 tickets for you, so we'll see you there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Carissa. Thank you so much. And Liz, all the best and safe travels back.
Thank you.
Great conversation.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us as well.
I mean, Liz, you shocked me when you said 15 years ago in your 40s. I
Yeah.
told Liz, during the break to find out.
I'll be 61 this year.
Amazing. Well done. Well done.
And I run. I do half marathons.
Wow. That's it right there, my friends. Let's take that pause. And we come back much more after the break.